I am sorry my audio was off. I'm very, very sorry. I'm very, very sorry. My name is Munel Kishen. I'm a general of opinion. I'm not a military general, but I love it. And I just want to say thank you for watching. In Liberia, it's about 4 o'clock right now. And it's just 11 going to 12 o'clock right now in Liberia, in America. But I want to call upon everyone. Let us stand up. Let us unite as Liberian. For Liberia to be fixed, it would take Liberians to fix it. The international community is watching us. They are looking at us to see if we can once for once stand up for ourselves. Not every time we will cry, 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 cry. We elected our president that everybody saw themselves in. Everybody felt that yes, we got somebody who understands the roots, who understands the people down there, that who will make the difference. But things are getting worse and worse. The name Joshua is not the name that we're not happy about. We don't care who is the president. Liberia is 172 years old, and Joshua is the 25th president. So we have had a lot of names. Names is not the problem. It's the leadership style. The Bible tells us that if the leader has no vision, the nation perish. And even if the leader has vision and don't have men, good people to carry on the vision, the nation stay perish. The Bible tells us to respect our leader. At the same time, the same Bible tells our leader to respect the people that he's leading. And the same Bible says that the leader is a servant for the people, not the people are servants to the leader, because it's a privilege for you to serve. It's not a right. It is your right to contest, but it is a privilege for you to serve your people. Government is not where we go and get rich, but it happens all the time. Fine. We know once you are in that position, you will get whatever you get, but you are there to serve the people. Every Liberian, every individual in that country entitled to one vote. And because of the other votes, that's what gave you the power. It's not about your resume. It's about likeness. And people saw it in this man. I was president. They saw it in him and they voted. Today, some people are regretting. I want to take this time to tell you, do not regret. If you voted for Joshua, don't blame yourself. Don't think that you will still have to make the difference. You cannot make the difference. I cannot make the difference. The only person, God comes first. But the president, the only person that can make the difference, not you. We can cry from now to judgment. And the people say, let's pray. Every Liberian pray for the government. And I will tell you, because of the faithful Liberians, that is why today Liberia is still standing up. Not because of you and myself. We have done a lot. We continue to downgrade God and raise up men. It is wrong. Because of our faith, because of people who love Liberia. Everybody loves Liberia. We call ourselves Liberians, but do we put Liberia first? Do we put Liberia first in our priorities? We put our family, yes, but when it comes to public life, Liberia is all we have. I will die, you will die, everybody will die, Liberia will remain. Other people died before us, from Joseph Jenkins Robert time all the way, other people gone. And we stay standing back. Look at yourself in the mirror. We are changing every day. We are not the same person yesterday. We are not the same guys who used to run all over the place. But we should understand that whatever we do it for the future. When we talk about future, we're not talking about our future. We always do things for the people that are behind us. So my future have started already. I don't have to wait for my future to start in 60s and 70s. But whatever I'm doing right now is for the people who behind me. Any struggle that you are in today, you are doing it because of the young people. The young people got future in Liberia. I can say yes. There's better days for Liberia. Yes. Liberia will rise up again. Liberia will be better again. Yes, I believe it. Because maybe some of us might not be around to see it. But some of us putting this time, I don't have to be in Liberia before I talk. I don't have to be in Liberia to tell you how Liberia look like. But some of us here, we got 24/7 contacts in Liberia. Not like some people who have never. We come off social media, we bash each other. No. When we are criticizing government, there's a reason I'm criticizing the government. Maybe you got another reason, but I don't think we need to attack citizens for opposing government. That's the right of the people. That is what makes things happen. In this great country, what makes America great today? Because they stood up. Because they stood up to the status quo. They stood up to the government. That is why black men in this country can vote. Martin Luther King, or even you look around the world at Gandhi and what so, these guys protest. There are different forms of protest. We should be happy in Liberia. We stay afraid. When you look at, when you retrospect 1999 and 2019, a lot of government came down because of the citizens. The citizens now are tired. They are taking the stand. Social media is doing it. That's the beauty of technology. So I don't have to be in Liberia. My family, I saw this guy who said, take your children home. He posted my children picture. I said, look at that. You posted my children, but my children are born in America. They were born in America. I don't need to take them to Liberia. I don't need to. We're giving false information because lack of information killing us. Everybody come on social media and give false information. But listen, history will judge us. Some people will rewrite their story, and today people are still rewriting their story. But I will tell you, do not blame yourself. We all believe in God. We all pray for Liberia. When Joshua failed, our people will suffer. That's not what we're wishing for. But people think that we're behind the name because Georgia. But let me make you guys to understand. I can remember 12 years ago, there were more protests in Liberia with no permits. There were more insults in Liberia. It's not because we're not on social media. Thank God for Facebook and Twitter. But there were more insults. We had a woman president. But people had casket. People had panties with blood and ketchup on it running all over the place. People had names for Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. But there were any protests? There were any permit? No. They walk in the street anytime, any day. But at that time, they had only one political party. Now, we are seeing it. We're not protesting. Liberians are not protesting because George Weah CDC did it. No. They are not doing it. But everybody is saying the same thing. It's just that some people don't want to admit it. Everybody's saying the same thing. The opposition are saying that, Mr. President, we want you to fight corruption. CDC, the ruling party, said the same thing. Mr. President, we want to fight corruption. Mr. President, you need to start flying private jet. CDC chairman said the same thing. You need to start flying private jet. Mr. President, you need to talk to everybody. You're not there for sedition. CDC said the same thing. Mr. President, you need to get the other people on the table. We said it is our right to protest. CDC said, yes, it is the right of everybody to protest. We said, stop blaming other people. CDC said the same thing. Mr. President, stop blaming other people. Mr. President, you need to open your eyes. You need to open your eyes. Some of us, you are putting us in the victory. Some of us are walking with our heads up because we said it before the election that you will not listen to no one. You have the same characteristics of a dictator, and it is proven. Instead of you proving us wrong, you are still doing the same thing. But now people say, oh, 2 years is too short to give the president time. Why, if this president had 4 years, then what going to happen? But it was 2 years was not too short for this president to enrich himself. 2 years was not too short for this president and some of his men to get rich overnight. That some of them get $4 or $5 million into the account in less than 2 years. Even if they were paying you $10,000 a month. In less than 2 years, they got $5 million, $6 million. Oh, it was not too much. When this president just act as if he is the only town, he's the only king in the country. Or because he paved the little road, or because he connected 2 roads, or because he gave free tuition to university students, or because he paid a WIAC fee. Oh, no. The president trying to build a hospital 14. But no, this president was able to build his own property within 2 years. Not 2 years, in 1 year, 3 months, he was able to build it. We've seen all these things. If one of the chairman of the ruling council in this government can come out and post and tell the world and tell this president that this gun protest that was canceled was very successful. This president went to a church, the Claw Family Center, and preached. He preached. But why the president cannot sit and wonder and say, 2018, New Year's Eve into 2019, that same church was overcrowded. This time, there were spaces all between. And this president went at a stadium, SKD Sports Stadium, for the first time in the history. No football game, nowhere in the world, or president had an inauguration at the stadium and see people all over. Although in America, some people go 2-3 million, although we reached 2 million at the stadium, but it was a historic inauguration. And in no time, this president went there again to celebrate the July 26th, and bunch of criminals and other people surrounded him, and the whole place was empty. This president can realize that things are falling apart. Can this president don't understand that things are not the same anymore? Why, President we beg you. We beg you, President if you can just come out tomorrow and tell the Liberian people that you will take full responsibility. You will stand up to your people that you appointed, that if they cannot do the you talk about zero tolerance. Your people, the 12 was not elected. Miguel was not elected. The people elected, Mr. President, the people gave you every power. Mr. President, the legislatures are afraid of you. They gave you everything that you wanted. Everything. They told you to print money. There's no investigation. You got everything to your disposal, Mr. President. You abusing power. You doing things. And this, you guys are honest, unless you are not a Christian. And I blame some of the pastors in our country, some of the bishops. If you would take George Weah, who not ordained, who I have never seen President Weah to say he was an evangelist. That is not how God called people. That is not how God called people. George Weah is going to church now because he's president. Let someone show me which of the church that George Weah visited when he was not in government. George Weah was a member of the Georgia Pattern Church. That was the church his grandmother went to, his father went to in Johansson area there. Which of the church that George Weah continued? George Weah, our president, so he go to church right now because he got the time on his hand. When was the last time George Weah went to evangelize? When was the last time? But the pastors allowing in my church, in other churches, when they call they call you up to even come and speak. You do not just climb on the pulpit and speak from there. You speak to your people. But now, past churches giving the president the pulpit and spend 30 minutes, 20 minutes, and this president here threatening a nation. He just did it again at Dominion Fellowship Church and Winger Church. Because they sit there. Yes, some people say, apart from God, the president is God. The president can kill anybody. The president can order the arrest of anybody. This president will go there and tell about people doing this, people doing that. When this same president, this president is still speaking about the past. This president was the peace ambassador of Liberia. Peace ambassador. The entire world look at George Weah as one of the peaceful men on earth. George Weah is the most successful Liberian ever that I know. He went into soccer. He reached at the top. He went as war best. He went into politics. He went into politics. They have and politicians who have tried. Even they could not win representative or senate position. They never reached to that time. George Weah became president. Why can't we be fair enough to say George Weah is a bad leader? Why can't we be fair enough that George Weah is not listening or good leader listening? George Weah said he's a pastor. He knows about the Bible, but the wisdom is in the Bible. The wisdom is in the Bible. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know white is white. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know if people are against you. You don't have to know that. But we stand up here, we lie. And guess what happened? God always punish people who see wrong and pretend as if they don't see it. They acknowledge it, but they pretend as if they don't see it. It's just like the Christian who goes to church. It's easy for God to punish you because you know about Jesus Christ, and the men who out there who don't know anything about Jesus Christ, God go after that lost soul. This president, he's president of the Republic of Liberia. There is no country that calls CDC. This president on New Year's Eve gave his annual message, his year-end message in his church with una sedition, and that insulting other Liberians. This president was the one that started all the insults. This president, they said leaders don't listen to every little thing that come out. But this president have promoted everybody who speak against him. This president have promoted everybody who stand up to say, oh, Mr. Weah is this. No, we're not insulting Mr. Weah. We don't hate Mr. Weah. But it's just because some of us cannot stand it for us to be there and eat while other people are dying. People are raping people, children. They see government officials going after people, little girls. This president is hiring people who don't know what they're doing. It is their right. Every Liberian got to work. But when the president elects you, appoints you, make an appointment, that appointment supposed to benefit Liberians. If you just put anybody into a position, it don't damage the president alone, it damages the whole nation. And if Samuel 12 had a love for Liberia and have love for this president, he will come out and say, Mr. President, I will leave. I will be the sacrificial lamb. If Liberian people say, I am the problem, I will step aside, Mr. President. You found somebody. Stand up for once. If the people say, Magay is the problem, oh, Mr. President, you are still a member of CDC. You are still a member of CDC, whether you resign. There is nothing wrong. It's your integrity. It's your integrity. But we have nothing called integrity. You see, the biggest thing, number one of all, of any leader is honesty. If you are honest, you will not kill. If you are honest, you will not steal. If you are honest, you will not suppress anyone. If you are honest, you will be fair to everyone. If you are honest, you will be free to make a decision. If you have integrity because of your family. But this president just sat on the born pulpit and talked about people insult his mother and people curse his children. But you understand that you got other people's children. You are the father of Liberia. You no more father for only your children. Your children live out of the country. But when I see Liberians sitting, look, that's why I don't look at names. I don't care who is the president of Liberia. You can be Flomo, you can be Peter Njan, you can be Yagbabulo, you are a Liberian. I look at people as Liberian. I don't look at you from Grand Jide County, from Nima County, whatsoever. I was born and raised in Maryland County. I was born and raised in Maryland County. But you look at some of us today and you call us for them. We serve that country with our blood and everything. We serve Liberia. We don't need nothing. They say, what can you do for your country? Not what your country do for you. It's not for me to go and steal from my country. Some of us left Liberia because during the same Charles Taylor time, I was Inspector General. But I left Liberia because of the nonsense, the criminal, the attitude of people. So I have to say, listen, since I got the opportunity, bye. Yes. Today I walk in the labor ministry. I was there just last year. When I entered, everybody knew the name. They called Munel Kishen because I never work anywhere. I'll leave my name. So I serve my country. Do you think I need to work again in Liberian government? No. No. And I cannot go home and be a job seeker. I want to create job myself. If I employ one person, it will help me. But no matter what we do, there are a lot of Liberians who go into Liberia, who doing businesses, who doing all kinds of things. That's their contribution. But the government is responsible. We voted for you. We don't just vote you in and let you go. Look, corruption killed dreams of young people. Corruption killed a lot of things. Corruption and damaged the faith of democracy. Corruption stopped development. If you are corrupt, it's not because of money. Not to say you're stealing physical cash. Corruption in everything. Corruption. So people, you need to come out. If you don't stand up, it's up to you. If Liberians refuse that, oh yes, and Joshua is, you can go. Look, if you think Joshua is the best man, you need not to stand. Don't waste your time. Go about your normal business. Go about your normal business. The people who want to stand up will stand up. It just takes one man to stop it. It takes one man. Everybody making mistakes. Don't get us wrong. Every side got a problem. I have a problem. If I say I don't have a problem, I'm not a human being. Everybody has a problem. I might say something different that will that will offend you. But at the same time, my stupidness could be good to another person. My idiot, my stupidness, my radical, my nonsense I will be speaking. Other people might like it. You might not like it. I might not like what you want to say. But one thing what I do, I don't insult people on your post. I don't go on your post and insult you. I always say something different. But people got a habit of coming there. Look, I am not in the business to satisfy nobody. I'm not in the business to speak to your ears. No. I'm not here to think for you. I'm speaking for myself. And I stand to it. I speak for myself. Most of us that are talking today don't even know the individual. Don't even know this person. It is easy for me to talk about you, to praise you when I don't know you. I received a call today from Liberia, and I won't call the person name. The person said, Munir, you need to do this. This man is your friend. This man. I said, listen, this is not about friendship. This is, he said, I've been watching you, and he still work in the government. He worked, when I say work, he worked in the government. But I would never let God help me. I would never call the name. He said, Munir, this person, individual, this. I said, listen, I got nothing against him. I said, just what I'm talking to you, I'm telling you now. Thank God I never heard your name in certain things. Some people respect themselves. Not everybody in this government is corrupt. But the corruption is at the top. The corruption is in a little small circle. In Johnson time, the corruption was so high until we could not even understand. But the corruption in this government is just surrounded by certain people. And if we, to show that we love this president, we put the blame on everybody around the president. But pastors have advised this president. International community, everybody coming to this president, Mr. President, you got to make some concession. Mr. President, you look, they have written this government did this, they did that. But Liberia is what wrong. He loved Liberia, yes. Joshua knows he's a Liberian, but I can put my neck on the chopping board that Joshua loved himself than Liberia. He loved himself first. He want everything to be himself. He want to be the center of attraction. You'll never follow him. I remember when Christopher Red, when he was playing soccer, asking that day, he said, listen, I don't go around Joshua. I'm going to come to game because Joshua want to be the center of attraction. And I myself, I'm a professional. I remember when all the guys were saying these things. I remember the day when Joshua said Silencer will not play on the national team because of what? I remember when Silencer had a problem with Joshua because Joshua, that's what they call the team, Joshua 11. But some of us never understood it. We thought because football was a dictatorship. We never knew that. When other players were pissed off, that they say, oh, because of Joshua, I'm not on the national team today. We say, well, man, wait, man. When Tamabomo said, oh, because of Joshua, when I yell at Joshua in Mauritania, when we were playing that game, I say, Papa, leave. And the last time Tamabomo played on the national team, we thought it was just because of football. Because in football, it's a dictatorship. The best player always got his saying. But we came into government. And I would say it with P and D. Joshua is the most successful Liberian ever in history. Yes. Yes. Some people never succeeded. Look at other presidents. They try, but they became president. You don't call that. Samuel Doe was president through the coup. He was just a master sergeant. He never went as far in the military to say, oh, maybe a commanding general whatsoever. But Joshua went into a soccer. He went to soccer match, a soccer game. He played the soccer. He became number one in the world. He became number one in Europe. Number one. And still today, he's the player of the century from Africa. He's still today the most decorated, number one decorated player. He not the most because Eto is the most decorated African player because the only thing he never won was the war best. But he won every other title in Europe, became champions in UEFA and different things. But Joshua is the African number one player. Joshua came into politics. They got backup mafia who struggled. They got Tipote. They got all these people. But this man, you came into politics and ascended to the top and became president of the oldest African nation. 4.something million, 5 million people. Yes, people said he was cheated. He was cheated the first and second time. Yes, that's saying because Liberia will speculate. I said the same thing too in the first election, but maybe it was the first round, but not the second round. Because you see, when you start to understand, you say Liberians, we gave false information. We gave false information. We never on track. We never gave true. Few people gave good information. So he went that far. But let us be brave enough to say it that Joshua is a bad leader. Bad governance, but bad leader. His leadership is bad. Do you think because we come on Facebook, that's why investors are going to Liberia? You think investors worry about you and myself on Facebook? Investors go into war-torn country. When Liberians were shooting, killing each other, businesses were operating behind the rebel lines and in the inter-government. Why they stop? I don't understand. You're quick to forget. They had companies operating in Liberia. They were behind rebel territory where they could get killed anytime. The only thing that encourages investors is your country guarantee, security, how the money will be used, the taxes and whatsoever, the encouragement from them, what they want to benefit. But when you get our government officials extracting money from investors, you expect them. If I'm an investor, I'm from America got a news and get everything, and I see the next investor just complaining and say, oh damn, they got and took $3 million from me with no reason, I should go there. They got other countries around the world where they can invest. They look at our population. We don't have the manpower. We don't have the purchasing power. People going to Liberia today to do big business is just to use Liberia as a base. There's so many things that we can get involved. Liberia is rich. But we have begged so much and banjoed our country. Not because Ellie, the witchcraft, destroy it. So that means the other post should destroy it. That's not what CDC was funded for. CDC was funded because of the suffering masses. CDC came to being because of the poor man up there who never had nothing to say. That is why CDC came out and they had all this thing going around, the masses. Today, Joshua don't have the mandate. Is that what you call mandate? Why live in a bubble? Look, I am calling on everybody. Sedition. You from UP. You are a Liberian. Every political party has the right to distance itself from protest. But you should guys know, CDC never distanced itself from protest during the Ellen Johnson time. They were doing it in the name of CDC. They did it in the name of CDC. There was no treason. There was nothing. Political party can protest. It's not a treason. But Liberians, we are all nice people. We don't want to make ourselves look bad. We so relaxed. Oh, you gotta keep the peace. You gotta keep the peace. Because we don't understand the beauty of freedom. We have never tasted freedom. We don't know. We stay think that, oh yeah, we are different from everybody. We are different people. Today, George, we are in a church on the pulpit. How God will not destroy that. Look, that because of the faithful ones, God will bless you. That's why that country is still standing. Not because of men like Wenger. Not because of men or whosoever. And God will think the blessing not going to know. Look, God used anybody to give his message. But if you tell me as a pastor that the message that president gave on your pulpit, that's a message from God, then I got a problem with you. Then you got a serious problem. Then you got to serve. God used if the nation is going through crisis, the men of God stand up. The men of God stand up. That's why God protect the men of God. He said, "Do my prophet." He said, "Do my prophet no harm." We're not here to criticize. I don't criticize pastor. But when you telling me that this president can stand on your pulpit where you was an anointed man of God, that people look up to you, and you tell me that you and Joshua share the same pulpit, and he throwing hymns and telling people how he will fight, and telling people, oh, you ain't know me now, you ain't know who you're playing with, and this and that, and you say that, yes, that's the will of God. Eh? Because you're in a comfortable place. When you, Pastor Winger, you stood up to Charles Taylor, you stood up to Joe Tate. Today, you standing up now because you think you can get whatever you want. Every one of you are in the pockets of the president. You're in the pockets of the president. This protest, if Liberians don't want to show up, it's good. And I want to come to say something. We say, but we must pay. He's a traitor, whether we like it or not. There's a way he should have given his statement. Political party can distance himself. But when you telling your members not to go out, then it's a different thing. The member of UP were never born to be member of UP. When you are coming in Liberia, when your mind pushed you onto this world, when God gave your mind that strength, when you are developing and coming up and you landed, God never said that you member of UP or you member of ANC or member of LAP or LP. No. He put you there that you are a member, you are a Liberian citizen. Your country comes first, not for no chairman to come and tell you. Maybe Ellen told him that, listen, this is yes, ANC did themselves. And I said, yes, they got it right. But not for a political leader or anybody to say it is wrong, it is unconstitutional to do that. Other people say, yes, we don't want to remove the president. We understand that. I myself are against it, but then later on I say, yes, the president should be removed because of some of the things. That if you cannot abide by it, then that's it. I have seen other people today in my church. This lady who don't know, she's prayed, pray, and said, let God touch the heart of Joshua. And let God make Joshua to understand that if Joshua cannot do the work, let God soften the heart and make a decision that will benefit the Liberian people. That is what you do. That is what you do. But if you say that because you're in love with a president or you're in love with a party, then trust me, man, you have messed up your political career. And I told you, Henry Costa, if you listen to this message, I texted you that the enemies is right within yourself, your circle. This government have been trying to infiltrate. They've been talking to people. If you will come out and distance yourself, and so they gave you all kinds of news. They came out to Yeke. But what you do understand, you guys, the international community have opened a seat for these guys at the table. They can talk to them. If they say they listen to them, nobody threaten Yeke. Nobody threaten Yeke's wife. Nobody can remove Yeke's wife from Ghana. I myself had a problem. Yeke said he was sending his wife to Ghana also. You can't make that statement. You know, Yeke makes me, but who protecting Yeke? There is no protection. We see Sabu unit. That's why the pastor of Providence Baptist Church said Sabu unit is a terrorist group. It is a local terrorist group terrorizing the people. When we can see them with the knives in their hand on video, we see them attacking people. The city mayor going into District 13, moving like a military man with knives and people behind them, gashing people, killing people in the night. Is that group represent who? They are member of CDC. That's the president unit, Sabu unit. When they can come on social media, we will protect the president with our blood. Nobody say you can protect the president. Nobody going to overthrow the president. Nobody will be stupid to overthrow a president in Africa right now, especially a shitty country like us. Like us, what we got to beg. We got to go and start begging for money. If you do that, like Egypt, where they suspended Egypt for 3 or 4 years, and they just brought him back to the OAU because the military government took over and he refused to give it. So you got to understand, you got to know your strength. Not people like us who beg all the time. Beggar don't have choice. Beggar don't have choice. You know what happened when George Bush stand up and said, Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, you must leave. And what happened? He left. And I will say this in a public manner. It's because of Joel. You think the international community want Joel? No. 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 These are the same people that surrounded by George Weah. NPP. I can say any day my brother, member of NPP. And I don't care. When we get there, everybody answer for themselves. I love my brother and I'm proud of him, the role he played. But let the other people be the judge. Bring the war crime court and let people get out. Who need to go, we go. But I will not put my family over Liberia when other Liberians are going through hell. Other Liberians are going through hell. We can't do that to ourselves, people. We can't continue to do this to ourselves. Oh, you need to go. Go home. You go home. If you show that this country, Liberia, is okay, and the president, you support it because you come on the post and start to insult, go home. Sidisha, put yourself together and help the president. Do you got to wait for us? You don't have to wait for us. If everything is good in Liberia, go there and help. You don't have to, okay, don't take your family home, but go home. Do something. Let the president know, what have you done for George Weah? You only stand on social media, stay here and lie. When was the last time you stood up that to tell this government there was a lot of killing? And then We are sycophants. We are all nothing but pretender. When the president speaks, then we clap. Oh, Mr. President, oh, Mr. President. They're Liberians. Amongst ourselves, we do the same thing. We go to a meeting. We come up with agenda. They voted on the agenda to go into the case. Then somebody will just jump and say, oh, I think we need to change that one there. We need to postpone that one for next week. But you just voted. We'll go to a meeting and say, oh yeah, we want $5. Everybody will pay $5. Time to pay. They say, oh, but we never respect what we put on paper. That what make America is great. America, as much as they are corrupt and whatsoever, they respect the Constitution. Liberians respect the Constitution? No. That is why we need to reintroduce civics into our schools, to teach our children about government, to teach our children about the Constitution, because we don't know, you don't know, I don't know. Some of us just start going through it. We still disobey, we still go against the things that make us to be president a country. Without a constitution, there will be no country. Our forefathers put it together, although some of them put it in their own interests. That is why today we get 6 years as president. People say, oh, 2 years. Why for 4 years? What we're going to do? Why for 4 years? That's what I'm saying. They say you chase a black car in a day. The car is black. Sometimes you don't see the car. That in the night you find the car. Yeah? God first, the president second. Only George Weah can make the difference in Liberia. Let me make you to understand today if you don't know. George Weah, the only man that can make a decision. George Weah, the only man can stop and protest. He's the only man that can stop corruption. That's Africa. The president got power. If that president sit in cabinet meeting right now and call Patrick Sulu and say, Patrick, if I catch any government official driving on the opposite lane, you will be fired. If I see a taxi driver, if there will be no law and order, that means you have to leave. You can't do your job. If I hear about raping all over the place and you cannot bring these people to justice and send them for prosecution, you are not police director. That is the kind of thing we want to hear from president. Not to be worried about your achievement. As a leader, let me make you to understand. People look at your job after you leave office. It's not when you're in office. It's not when you're in office. Any leaders, you sit there, you make sure your people are happy. You put your foot down because just you know about it. For you to win that world best player, you put in more time. Practice. You did your own thing, your extra practice. And you became a world best. You never misses a game. You show up to every Lone Star, i.e. round time game. We were in Florida. You remember we were in Florida. You were all dressed up. We all dressed up. We're walking around in Florida. And your son, Timothy, at that time, he was what? 5 years or 6 years old or 7. They were playing a little game. We brought the football. What happened? You started playing in your suit, in your shoes. We start playing free time ball by ourselves. That is the kind of man you are. That is the kind of Joshua we knew about. But Mr. President, you're a bad leader. You can change. You can change. If I can change and say I cannot support you because of your bad leadership, you can change and prove me wrong. You can change. And if you change today, President Weah, if you change and make the difference, Munel Kishen will come right back on the Facebook and say, yes, George, we are making a difference. But if you will go on the pulpit to everywhere you have the opportunity to speak and bring peace and bring unity among Liberians and you batch other Liberians, Mr. President, you're not ready yet. You stay on the defensive. You're not ready. And as a soccer player, I will bring back in the soccer. Any team who only defends and not try to score, 2 things. They either draw or they lose the game. If you're only concentrating on your defense, that means you're only going to draw a game in soccer. Or you will end up losing because one goal, I say, because you get nobody, you don't have a center forward, Mr. President. You don't have a score. So let's go back to the soccer game. You got a bad team. You might get a good defense because they're defending you. Might get a good midfield, but you got a bad center forward. You don't have a good number 9 who will score for you, Mr. President. Samuel Twes ought to be the number 9. He's the financial man. He's the one supposed to make the difference. The one man just to only collect taxes. He dare not to make no difference. Just to make and come up with plan how to collect taxes. Thomas Dona, that's his job. But you got a finance man who is the head of your economic teams. Other good people around the world retire because when people blame them, they retire. They resign. They say, Mr. President, I'm out. It's okay. I go back into my private life. I will not sit there for people to accuse me. But because they are all in dirty games, that is why they're afraid that when they leave, that's it. That's it. And our president enjoying this power. So when they say, President, we are not talking, say, hey, I'm gonna talk. Hey, I can't talk. I will talk today. No, President, we're talking about you united Liberians. When people and you guys who live in America, when Barack was running, Barack never concentrated on the black people. What he did, he worked towards the white people because he know when he get the white vote, he's okay. When he gets the white vote, he's fine. That's how it worked. And what happened? He became president in this country where they got majority white. Okay, guys, I will be back in a few seconds. I'm going to take a break. This is the Lrtn and Liberian Radio Television Network. We are also in Liberia and we'll be at the protest tomorrow, no matter what. It can be 2-3 persons showing up. But hey, what we're doing here is not against the president of George. It's not the name George we are. We are against the bad leadership. We need good government, good governance in our country, law and order. If this president can put his feet down, he can still make the difference. Despite the $25 million, the $16 billion, Liberians are forgiving people. If we can sleep and dine with Prince Johnson, George Boley, Halaji Kurma, they're passing all over the place, and no Liberians can attack them. And people who did damage their lives can look at them and say, look at Prince Johnson passing by. Who are you, President? We are that if you come up today and tell Liberian people, say, yes, we blundered. We make a big mistakes. We thought we were going to make the difference because we tried to rush certain things. But I think we can do it together as a nation. We can come together. It is time for other people to give chance to other people. But I will make sure that we do the right thing. I will cut down on my trips. I will make sure that we'll not just spend unnecessary money. Some money will be going to schools and hospitals. That is the beautiful game. Until, if you can't do that, Mr. President, you are on a losing game. No matter how long you stay in office, Mr. President, you go down as the worst president if you continue this way. We say, oh yes, he played football, he was world best and whatsoever. And guess what's going to happen, Mr. President? You will leave that mark on your children. On the names they call weird. Some might not be related to you, but it will affect them in the future that will not look for weird. Just how Liberians say they don't want to see Talbot, they don't want to see the Doe or neither Salif. Why our leaders always think that Liberia is a farm where when it's rep, it's time to harvest? Why we think that when we leave office, we should be a millionaire? Even if you don't steal, you'll be a millionaire because $400,000 a year and you don't touch it, and for 12 years or whatsoever. Everybody believed that George Weah was never ever because of the popularity. That is why some of the representatives of other things cave in. They put a tail in a butt. And they gave this president a go ahead. But anyway, I'll be back in a few seconds. And so don't go nowhere. Please stay back. June 6th is the day. It is our right. It is our right to stand up. It is our right to stand up. And it is our right to assemble. So don't go anywhere. Just stand back. And I will be back in a few seconds. So let me give you this little song and what they call a photo. So we might listen to this nice song they call Photo. If you're in the photo, fine. Stay in the photo, yeah. Bye.
streaming at tuneslikebeard.com.
Photographer, hey, my man, you can't take our photo. Where let me come on, friend? Colorful.
Yeah.
Taku.
Okay.
What again? Auntie, sugar. Hey, man, I want picture of
I post for the photo, but I can see myself in the photo. Post. What happened to the photo? Now I can see myself in the photo. Post. The people that were laughing at the photo, now the people that I see shining in the photo. Post. I post for the photo, but I can see myself in the photo. What happened to the photo? Now I can see myself in the photo. The people that were laughing at the photo, now the people that I see shining in the photo. Papi, what happened to the photo? What happened? How you really tell it all the photo? Now I can see myself in the photo. I was standing right down there in the photo, but now I can't even see my shadow in the photo. Where the blah in the photo? So shaga the money I see in the photo. They say your camera was dog. They say your picture was not clear. If your picture will be all clear, now the reason why they went and told the picture didn't play. But now I see the pussy in the photo. Talking said I didn't want enjoy in the photo. Where were y'all when we were in the photo? Pussy in the ring and the sun for the photo. Photo go to did not follow in the photo. When I wear deep black shining in the photo. Shaka Dimo did not visit all the camera in a no more. They blocking us in the photo. Yes. I post for the photo, but I can see myself in the photo. What happened to the photo? Now I can see myself in the photo. The people that were laughing at the photo, and the people that I see shining in the photo. I post for the photo, but I can see myself in the photo.
Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm back. I will want to go through some of the comments, and I see something I want to speak about. And this guy, Elijah Weir say, you are not a correct general. You are for COP. Get off from here. Yes, I am not for COP. I am for the Liberian people. I support Liberian protesting. I support Liberians assembly because it is their right. COP is just a pressure group that control and made up of Liberians. I'm sorry. And COP. So when you say I am I'm for COP. Oh yes, I'm with the Liberian people, my brother. So it's not that I'm not a member, but I support them. I don't have to support the president. Okay, my network going bad again. Okay, and that is it. And also to what his name and Orlando Giddings. Orlando, what I'm saying here is that I'm not putting the crime of President Weah onto Joel. I said because of Joel, the international community don't want Joel to take over as president. We all heard the news all over the place. Because if not the case, trust me, with the attitude and what they've been doing, by this time Joshua will be over. But I'm not saying that I accusing her, but according to the international community with all the news, although they never came out publicly, but we saw letters and where people are not happy, and we saw information coming from the international community when George Weah carried her and nominated her as his vice president. But I'm not holding her responsible for Child Stealer Act. No, she just and fall into that group as one of his last wife before he left the presidency. That's all. So, and my network is going bad. I hope it continues, but I noticed something that is not too right. And when you broadcasting through Facebook, the bandwidth is so heavy and until sometimes it drops and come back on. But anyway, and so please, January 6th is today. It's today. Please, Liberians, it is time for you to speak out. It is time for you to speak out. It is time for you to speak out. If you don't do it, it's up to you. If you think things are fine, fine. And I will say this again. Pedro, you need to watch your back. Somebody said, but why you say, look, Wilmer Pay or Radical could have given that statement and just disassociate UP from the protest finish. But not to call on UP citizens or UP members to stay home. You are not born to be a UP member. You are not born to be a member of ANC. You are not. You are a Liberian. It is your right. If we stand together as one, our government will make the difference. Because our people never had the opportunity. They never had that mindset. All they know, they were eating, getting money. If we had a president for 27 years who had everything to his disposal and never built Liberia. We have President Totman. Other countries, they got independence, we agree. The white man taught them, the white man showed them. But look at Kwame Nkrumah. That's why Ghana is still saying that, they are the first independent nation, which is true. They are the first independent nation, Ghana, in Africa, 1957. But why? Talk about 27 years, he built some. So the problem in Liberia today started from way back. But we cannot continue to blame the people. It's not because they say your forefathers were poor and he died poor, so you must remain and die poor. No. Jesus Christ came and suffered and died for us to take the next level. So you cannot continue to worry about Jesus Christ when the same person says only a man with pure heart will see God. Yes, it's simple. Why you should fight your fellow man when you have never seen God in your life? Why use power? The Bible tells us if one man in a group come out to be the greatest, that man should be the servant. If the leader of a group, he's the servant, ain't mean that he must clean under your feet. But you cannot serve him because it's a privilege that he decided to take over. That I'm going to serve my people. I'm going to stand up for my people. Only one man can be president. Only one man. You get 10 person running. If the other people don't win, it's not that they're not Liberian. It's not that they're not qualified. They all qualify to be president. What qualifies you to be president? Citizen of Liberia. 35 years old. 25,000 hours for property. There is nothing that says you should be a PhD holder or master degree or BSc. But Liberia is the only place I see educated people and rich people. We work in this country, we stand up, we go to banks, we go to other places, we go to other functions. We see presidents from big companies. We see people with PhD as if they have nothing. The owner of Reedman in cars dealership. That old man goes to work every day, 7 o'clock. Old man, he passed by you as if he's not the owner. That is what we do. That is what our people do. But in Liberia, big shot. Everybody big shot. We got people who betraying their government. We got people who lying to the president. They say when the president listens to falsehood, it just, look, I'm not a pastor, but these are things that come across me and I see them, but I don't memorize the voices. But I know it's in the Bible. If any pastor want to come and tell me, say that true. They say when a leader listens to falsehood, his officials are wicked people. The officials now, they say people who around him, they are wicked because guess what? The people who around the official, they are the first line of advice. They advise the president. They advise the leader because the leader he's not like you and myself anymore. He don't go to certain gathering anymore. That is why leader need not to put their brothers, their sisters, their relatives, their close friends around them in a job. Even if you're doing something that you can push them far off, not to come closer to you. Samuel Toy make the decision for the president. Maggie make decision for the president. So tell me, who gonna fire who? Who gonna fire who? Maggie said it, and he caught himself. He said, I run the show around here. I run the show. That's what he said. And guess what? After the president was out of the country. So it's like, if we leave with them, they want us to have a monarchical government where Joshua will be the king and we have a president because Joshua behaving like a king. In a sense, that is how the queen behaves in England because they have no work to do. They only go to the parliament, open the parliament, and go back home, and they just go to them for advice. Oh, Madam Queen, this is what we're going to be doing and whatsoever. So that's what Joshua need to do. Joshua don't bring up suggestion. Joshua have never told us anything. Joshua go on the pulpit. He make it worse. Joshua have meet and press conference with the people he want to, and he still make it worse. How long it would take this president to admit? If you cannot admit to a problem, if you cannot recognize there's a problem, you can't solve it. If this president cannot recognize there's a problem in Liberia, there's a justice problem in Liberia, and there's a unity problem in Liberia, and the country is divided. If this president cannot recognize that, he will never solve the problem. We will remain divided until his time is over. And it's still going to be hard for the next president who will be coming in. It will be hard. And I met someone who always on Facebook just 4 days ago and said, oh, but Munel, you won't tell me it will be a bad president that every president, so tomorrow when another president come in, then I should protest and say I don't want a president. No, that's not the case. It's not the case. When your good is equal to your bad or your good is more than your bad, you standing a better chance. But if your bad is more than your good, trust me, you will be in a hot water. Gambia, what happened to Gambia today? The guy who just won the election. The guy who just won the election, what happened today? People are demonstrating against him because he thinks that he got the mandate of the people. No. You should be afraid. Even if you get the mandate of the people, you should be afraid. You're talking about demonstration. You don't people demonstrate against George Bush. You don't people demonstrate against Trump. You're talking about insulting president. Social media is a place that people go and do everything. It just because it's unfortunate because of Liberian would have no other means. All our information is on social media. It's on social media. You listen to Sean Hannity. You listen to Rush Limbaugh insulting Barack, calling Barack tar baby. You listen to Rush Limbaugh insulting. In fact, there's a clip they just put all Barack little mistakes that he made. They got all that things. They call him nigger. They call him all kinds of words. They got Donald Trump passing, people using the finger doing this. Then you, president, they say close your eyes and do your work. Talking about the insult your mind. You go on pulpit to say this, insult your mind. You talk about Prophet Key. Who cares about Prophet Key? You and Prophet Key, who got something to lose? That's the same thing I said the other day in Florida, and some nuts, what they're talking about bullshit. Who, you and Eugene Nambi, who has something to lose? That's the question I asked. Yeah. You and Prophet Key. Why will you dignify Prophet Key on the platform that he calls your man? Because Kosso never calls your man. Kosso never insulted your man, neither your pa, neither yourself. Kosso used the word stupid. He's ignorant. He's this. Okay, he's using the English word on you, which it means the same old stupid and whatsoever. Yes. But you can go on social media. You can go on a pulpit and say this person, your damn baby killer. You say, and Yeke is a baby killer. But Yeke was a victim of the war. He was a victim of the war. Yeke never went to Libya. Yeke never sat in America and organized war. Eh? And you, Mr. President, you sat in that church. You were so brave. When you were passing a riot, bringing war, I was in Ghana in refugee camp. Lies. God will kill me tonight. You were in refugee camp. If you were in refugee camp, then you are going to attend some of the meetings in Ghana. Because when the people went to, refugees were in Ghana when they used to have the peace talk. If you, George Weah, was going to a refugee camp, you were going to attend the Yamasoklo or what, Akusumo peace accord. If you, George Weah, a public figure, at that time you are at your best. was going to go and visit the Ghana camp, you were going to attend the meeting in Ghana. You ever made an attempt? That one interview, journalists will ask you whether you like it or not. Oh, yes, you're doing good. Joshua was the person that will say, yes, Liberia name was on the map. Oh, Joshua scored another goal. Oh, Joshua did this. Oh, Joshua wore best. That was a pride. And we'll stand by it. It is your achievement. We enjoy your achievement too. You never ever turn down Lone Star game. You never turn down Invisible 11 game. You never turn down certain games. You always there. So we enjoy it. But stay, it was just a group. You think that all Liberians love football? No, Mr. President. You think that all Liberians love IE or Barrow? No, Mr. President. No. But don't give stories when it's not a true story. Why Liberians must lie? If Karika can come on the internet today and tell me that Karika was Joshua, if Karika and Joshua ever went in refugee camp, I will apologize to Joshua for the rest of my life. Karika was Joshua from Monaco. If Momodu Masekwe can come on the internet and look in my face and say, Joshua and myself went on a refugee camp, I will apologize. If Rodney Sear can come and look in my face and say that he and Joshua went on refugee camp, when Grant Martin can come and tell me that he and Joshua went on a refugee camp, maybe they sneak inside. If Nikan or what his name? What they call the ball name? Jones Blamo, all the guys. Jones Blamo was just on security at the time anyway. All the guys who were living, even if what his name had it, let them show the one in Ivory Coast. Let them show it. Do you know how many people Joshua helped and how many people he bullied and tell them get the hell out of his face? Do you know how many people in our Kings Bay Hotel when Lone Star had Gambia? When we play our first game in Ghana, we use Ghana as our home base. And we play in Ghana and beat Gambia. Do you know how many people that Joshua yelled at that day that he should get the hell out of the hotel? He's not a bad man, but he satisfied some people and satisfied none. He gave what $6,200 to some Liberians. But guess what we heard out of news? That's that news. We heard it just during election time. They said Joshua paid the school fee $6,200. We heard it. He said Joshua told them they should meet in 2 weeks. What? You know, there's sometimes when they're talking all these things as if we don't know. Joshua base, his first base, when he was playing active, Joshua had a base in Ivory Coast, not Ghana. That the mistake a lot of people making. Joshua go to Ghana, he stopped in a hotel. Joshua never left Monaco or AC Milan or PSG to go to Africa and spend 2 weeks after game time. After a game. No. He never. But they say, oh, Joshua, they say we're meeting in 2 weeks. You just tell me what you want and we all come and meet me. I give you $6,200. One of Sierra Leone men say, Joe, we have paid the entire Sierra Leone national team. They got stranded and Joe, we have paid their way to go home. Tell me. Liberian men know how to lie. They lie not in the book. You check in the lies book, you can find it there. Because the president can lie. The president puts people under impression and still he don't know how to lie. He's still about, you know, the people don't catch it. Because Liberian, when they love you, they love you. When they love you, they love you. Just how they fell in love with Ellie in the second time or whatsoever. Especially when they're eating, when they know that their table, their plate filled. Joshua said, how he paid a WAEC fee. He walked into his office, he was a senator. And he saw the children standing up. And so what you're doing here? They said, oh, Papi, we came to the senator, they promised us. He said, okay, y'all come to my office. He said, okay, you're going to go to school. You'll go back to class. But you promised me, I will give you the money, but you'll bring the receipt. You believe it? I should just take money and give it to them and say, y'all go pay the wire fee and bring it. Then he said, I sat down, I called Eugene Namwe. I said, Eugene Namwe, my man, we got to do something when our president, they wire fee, we got to take care of it. But Eugene Namwe was already with Ellen. When Obama was running for the Senate, Eugene Namwe was with Ellen Johnson already. In fact, Eugene Namwe was supporting Robert Selly. He was Ellen Johnson baby. So how in the world they will speak about Joshua being president? Joshua appointed Eugene Namwe because of Ellen Johnson. Joshua never just came up and said, okay, I got to appoint Eugene Namwe. No, there was someone that was the agreement that I will give you, I need 5 spots. Eugene Namwe was one of her favorite. And her uncle from the bank and Mary Bro. You can hear Mary Bro speaking? No. Mary Bro just making her money. She'll soon resign. Maybe she won't run for something during the election. So Mary Bro just getting her late pay. She not saying nothing. She not had like Ellen Johnson time. You know what I mean? So all this is Joshua gave her force. Joshua said he got 2 farms in Sano. And the farm they're harvesting right now. And he said the people should feed themselves. But you believe it that Joshua will get a farm and he don't brag about it to show it to the world? If Joshua can put a small little market down and show the day they were breaking it, how they were building it, how it went up. That farm. And he talking about agriculture. Joshua said he took the rebels to his house and he make friends with them and how he disarmed the rebel. All the little rebels. Yes. Peace ambassador. UNICEF ambassador, they use celebrity for these jobs. I remember when Lawrence Fishburne went to Liberia. You know that? Lawrence Fishburne, he was UNICEF ambassador, the same position Joshua. They use, but why would you use Lawrence Fishburne when Joshua became the world best player? They say, oh, good, but they got a celebrity, we can use him and they love him. That's why. Or else, if Joshua not going to go to that title, they're not going to use him. Because the first time they brought Lawrence Fishburne, the U.S. ambassador, the UN ambassador, UNICEF, that came to Liberia for the same disarmament. Yes. Then they realized that Joshua became the world best player in 1995 and whatsoever. They said, but, oh, man, they got this guy, so we got to bring him in. We got to bring him in. That is it. Liberians, you need to know your own history. You need to know about people who want to get into public office. You need to get there. Liberians are not looking for people who will just come and say, I can do this, I will do this. No. Liberians looking for people who will speak up for them. It is your right. It is your call. Whatever you do today will be going down in history. If you refuse to show up and you think Henry Costa is the one who pushed you to show up, no. This is not about Henry Costa. Henry Costa is just a one man. This is not about you as an individual. This is about whole country. United we stand, divided we fall. This president spent more time, more money, more resources just to stop a protest. I cannot believe a government will spend more money to bribe people when you get an idiot or man like Rufus Nuvers, who were in District 8, did nothing and they removed him. He went to Ellen and said to him a little bit, Chief of Protocol, now today you can stand up because you went there and start to videotape and record your friends and took it to the president. We are looking for favor. We got a bunch of traitors in our country. We got a bunch of traitors. Women pay, you have to come up and explain yourself. If you will come out and said Unity Party partisan should not come out and protest, you who to them? You their God? You their God? COP is made up of every political party. They got sedition, they got everybody. Only the other ones there, and let me tell you, not all Liberians, even in America, not everybody can protest. And not all Liberians going to protest. Some will stay home, some support the protest, but they are afraid because we are cowards. Some of us, maybe we are cowards. I don't have to go to Liberia. I can stay here and give my input. I don't have to go to Liberia. That is the thing. So, Liberians, it's up to you. It's not about Henry Costa. It's not about Henry Costa. Henry Costa, if we leave with other people that want to get rid of him, and I said it, The enemies, you and Women Pay was together the day before the protests. They say when your house don't sell you, the street will not buy you. When your house don't sell you, the street will not buy you. And I posted it on myself. There were people in the group that were trying to pay to get rid of you, Henry Costa. You must say whatever you want to say about Henry Costa. But until you can realize and tell the people that George Weah got a problem, then the people will tell Henry Costa he got a problem. But if you tell me Henry Costa tried to solicit money, what about the president who did it? What about the president who been taking bribes from international, from other foreign guests? So who is the worst person? Because he's the president? Because he's the president? Right in your eyes, this president built houses within less than 1 year, 12 months. Build houses in from your face, in your face. And you telling me that even millionaires don't just build like how he built. I haven't seen no millionaire that built like that. Even a Benayoud that say, oh, they stole money, this and that. He took time and started building. He took time. So if that money actually came from George Weah's pockets, Liberia should have been better because that's a money George Weah put into the economy. It's not money that he took and put back. You understand? This president got the support of the entire legislators. Never investigated him, never asked him questions. This president appoints a commission or ambassador to United States. Nobody said anything about it. This president, $16 billion got missing. The House never called for investigation. $25 million came up. The House, this is the first time in the history of a government, a democratic government, where the House, they got a committee on different things, finance or whatsoever, never called because the speaker, we got a time that we got to go after them. Their days are coming. Their days are coming. They are not in the interest of you and myself. It is time you need to start looking for good people. It is not an easy thing. You cannot find a sincere man, but you can find an honest person. Nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect. No perfect human being. Only God is perfect. Not you and myself. But people sit there and say, oh, yeah, that's my time to chop. Oh, the job I get chopping. No, the job don't need to get chopping. That's the salary of the job. That is the salary of the job. And after they have stolen enough, then they came to harmonization. After they have stolen enough, oh, we're going to harmonize everything. We're going to make sure everything balanced across the board. Secretary pay this and driver pay this one and whatsoever. Liberians quick to forget. Oh, we distance ourselves. Oh, Yeke Wef, they will deport Yeke Wef. We got other guys on Facebook who have no shame for themselves. They supported George Weah. They came into politics 2009 before they even got into Liberian politics with your age. 2009, because a friend called you and said, oh, my man, I want you to run campaign for my man. You don't even know the man. You never met in your life. You never told him hello one day in your own life. The man won. In 2 months, you started criticizing him. You told the whole world that this man was a criminal. He's a crook. He don't know what he's doing. He don't know his left from his right. I'm disappointed. In fact, I'll suspend my membership from CDC. All of a sudden, you say your friend came back to you and said, oh, my man, you my friend, and this and that. I would never, ever do it. I got friends who called me and said, Munim, why are you doing this, man? You can just forget it and come and speak. I cannot back wrong. And you coming up, the only thing you get to say is Henry Costa this, Henry Costa that, because you are jealous over Henry Costa. That is why you go on Facebook and say you know about Henry Costa, but you don't know nothing about this young man. You're talking about a frequency that he bought on black market. What a difference. That's a used frequency. You don't know Henry Costa. You might know him, but Henry Costa is more advanced than you. You might get your degree or whatsoever, but Henry Costa is smarter than you. He's moving forward. You will stay on Facebook, stay struggling to get 200 people. You think after every one of us struggling to get members on Facebook. But guess what? After we finish, people watch it. But if right now I'm on live, if Henry Costa come on right now, I will see all the number dropping. I don't be ashamed on it. That's my role I play. I'm helping. But guess what? My little advantage that when I finish with my recording, it's on YouTube, it's on Twitter, it's on Facebook. I got 500 friends and I got over 2,000 still standing by. I will share to them. So it is easy for me now to block people because I don't just request friendship. People request their friendship. People send friendship. Whether you from the other side or not, it is your right for you and myself to be friends. Yaya Sherif is my good friend, childhood friend. Went to school together. I will post something. Yaya, don't insult me. Yaya will not come up and say, you this and that and that. I attack him on his post. Sometimes when it's not right, when he try to defend CDC, he try to give lies. I go there and say, Yaya, don't do that. But I will not go and insult him. But some of you guys don't know. I can never write to Yaya or for Yaya to send on my point and say that nonsense you're talking. He will just say, okay. Oh. But you got some idiots who will come on your post and insult. Nonsense you talking there. Take your family to Liberia. Who are you? You jealous over Joshua? My ET paying Joshua house? Joshua paying my rent or paying whatsoever? Joshua know how my family eat? Joshua know where my children go to school at? No. So let us stop the nonsense. That is why the division will remain in Liberia in this one. And I'm not going to bite my tongue. I tell people the way I feel and the way I understand it. It's not hatred. I tell you, you can be my friend. I tell you the straight talk. If that's what you want to do, fine. Do you know how many friends I got in that government working? Do you know? This is one of the friendliest government I ever know in my own life. I never knew nobody in Ellen Johnson government. I never knew nobody there. Although I had the opportunity when Ellen then took over. Somebody said, oh, Money, you know, come back to Labor Ministry, we'll get to be a concern. I said, hell, no way. Go there, why? I got friends who go. I said, go to that time. They have Kofi Woods as Labor Minister. I could have gone there, Labor consultant, and make my 4,000 out of that nonsense. No. I can't trade it for nothing. Yeah, I can't trade my thing I'm doing to go to Liberia you got to feed your family. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. This government, no government in Liberia that I had contact. Okay, the interim government, I work in the interim government. But no government that in Liberia to say that I don't. Everybody who in this government, one way or the other, I know them. Some of them live in Liberia. Some of them came from America. Some of them were, I know them. Natalia Maggie, my Lokitan brother. You know what I'm saying? The Sametua, CDC first chairman, he knows me good. He's not my friend. But he knows when he see me, he'll say, oh, my man, what's up? He knows. So this government is friendly. If I want to be one of the guys who will eat, I was not going to be, I want to be right in front of St. George we are. I was going to be on the same plane with George we are traveling around the world, I'll be enjoying myself. But trust me, I can't live like that. Under no condition. I work for one Liberian man, he's died. He's dead today. He was the most honest Liberian I ever came across. Honest Liberian. Crewman, Serenos Nyemfo. Yes, that is where I start respecting crew people. But this one, it messed me up. This one, it fooled my mouth. It fooled my mouth. Liberians, if you don't want to come up, it's up to you. It will not change my life. It will not improve my life. It will not downgrade my life. It will not add pain in there. It will just make me free. But guess what we're going to do? I will not stop talking. We'll continue to make the case. So you can be in Liberia, but one thing I know that I would do, I know exactly what I would do. You enjoying there, that's fine. So you're not complaining, say you're not enjoying. If you cannot tell your government that what you're doing is wrong, what you're doing, we're going through hell. Only people who got contact in government can survive. Only people. Some people say, oh, take your petition to your representative. You guys are nuts. Do you think when you take petition to your representatives for them to impeach the president, do you think it work? Do you know who the Speaker of the House? You know the rules in the House? The rules in the House, only the House can call for the president impeachment. But guess what? Only the speaker, nobody argue with the speaker. If the speaker say that your resolution or whatsoever will never see daylight on that floor, it will not see daylight. No representative got power equal to the speaker. You understand? That's the real fact. And without you, the House can call for an impeachment, or representative can, if he lock it, he can put it on the floor for impeachment. You see in the Republic, you see like in America, because they got a Democratic speaker, that is why they were able to put the impeachment on the floor. You see what happened in the Senate? They got a Democrat or Republican, something. So you ever see people going to the representative here to say, oh, you'll go petition and so they will impeach Donald Trump? What kind of book your land? What kind of smartness you got smart? And I hear people talking about blackmail. Do you know the meaning of blackmail? Blackmail is a crime. Who Aaron Costa blackmail? Oh, because I'm still waiting for this government to come and tell me or tell us that Henry Costa received money from them for full like Nouvelle. And do you know why I said women pay or traitor? According to Nouvelle, I want you to go back and listen to Nouvelle press conference. He said, with the exception of women pay is a patriot. He was the only man I never received that money, but all the other guys received the money. Right there, from the day he put that post up, I said, no, women pay were compromised. Whether Ellen told him to go and speak on behalf of the political party, because Ellen did, or Boyka said, go and tell the people that a Unity Party is not part of it. They never told him and tell them that all Unity Party partisans should stay home. Who are you to protect them? Can you protect them? Do you know how to eat in their houses? Do you know how to pay their children's school fees? Do you know how to pay their rent? Sometimes I understand. You know, I saw this thing on Facebook. This woman, there was a porn industry. Big time. These two people were evangelists. They were on Peace Corps. They were in Africa doing God's work. They said they sat down one day, he and his wife, and said, we're tired of being poor. So they took their sex life. They started selling the ticket. Okay, that's their own sex life. They start selling. And today they have one of the biggest industry, biggest company for porn. They gave up. They gave up serving God and they decided to get into the other business. So women pay who are just enjoying a few days on Ellen Johnson could not stand it. He decided, I will take a few bucks until he can come and tell us no. Mr. Nouvelle, who was struggling a few days, he ambassador, and they call him Ambassador Nouvelle, chief of protocol. Ellen compensated him. He broke now. He looking for something. Accusing the government of bribery. Then how? So maybe George Weah gave the money and somebody ate it. But let them come and tell us who they give this money to. Why you should keep it to yourself? Why can I see nobody coming up accusing Henry Costa? Don't get me wrong. If you tell me, say, Henry Costa don't have a vision. Yes, he have a vision. Every one of them got a vision. Henry Costa ain't hiding from you. But one thing I can tell you that Henry Costa is not doing it because he want to be president. Maybe he want to be president in the future. But not now. But who knows? When the people petition him, maybe he might. That's his right. That's his right. But he never hide it from you. You know, a straight talker, that's how we talk. We tell you things, how we feel, and that's it. But some people don't like it. Eh? If you get one man, you attacking this one man, you try to heal it, wonderful Henry Costa, you put it all on social media. When he go to the library, kill him. So when we tell us, say, I want to kill him, then I lie. It's on social media, you kill him. When you go to this place, kill him. You get Sabu Unit, a terrorist group in Liberia called Sabu Unit. A terrorist group. We got to make the world to know. So guess what? Y'all don't protest. Y'all don't protest. But we make the case that Liberia got a terrorist group. That is how terrorism starts. They start from the country and they extend it to different places. Yes. So Sabo unit is a terrorist group. Look, they said Liberian, our Civil War, we lost over 250,000 Liberians. But Liberia is still standing today. We lost a lot of lives. Liberia still standing today. So guess what? If you kill people because you think they oppose this government, you be doing yourself no harm. Because guess what? You will still be killed. You will still die. You will still die. That is why some of us don't trust nobody. And I told Henry Costa, I told a lot of people, when we get the info, the government is so vulnerable when it comes to information. People are backstabbing this president, but still he don't know. He's not his own man. Because the president did rules, yes, we like it. Oh, he called for he paid the children to a WIC fee. Fine, it's good. Oh, the president what the president did again? Trying to build a hospital 14. Okay. Do you know how people put their names on property, on public buildings? Public buildings, how they do that? It's not just one man doing it. It comes from the Senate. Any public thing, public, they vote on it. The same way they put what his name, Martin Luther King's monument in Washington D.C. The House voted upon it and approved it on a public land. You don't just put a president picture because or name a building after a president. When Samuel Doe Stadium was named, it was done through the House of Representatives. Say, listen, we got to put this name there, Samuel Doe Stadium. Yes. So even in Sierra Leone, it was the same thing. They put it there for the president to recognize some of their work. But this man, we call a hospital S14. Yeah. Now the billionaire monument, they raised some money, the money gone. Zuka wasn't even eating the money here, the president. They raised a lot of money the other day. But these are some of the things. Corruption, always finding a way out. Corruption don't hide. You can do the corruption. I met a guy, I went to go work as a policeman. He said, I have never, he been in the police. I said, but why you retired? Because he joined the police force very young. He's serving now, he going what, 32 years in the police. I said, why you trying? He said, no, I can't retire, I'm still young. This guy joined the police force when he was 18 years old. 18. He said he was in the police and he did a college thing. 18 years. He said there are no bad cops in the police that ever retire. That means they go through the retirement and spend 30 or 25 or 30 years. He said all the bad cops, they grab them. Some of them 5 years, 10 years, they grab them. Some of them 15 years, they grab them. Corruption know how to find its way out. Something you do because the people monitor you 24/7. 24/7. So if Henry Costa were eating money from government, we're supposed to know by now. If Henry Costa were collecting money on false pretense, not to protest, not to do this, and what really baffled me, that surprised me for Sekou, of all person, to believe that Henry Costa then compromised to cancel a protest. Liberians love bad news. I will give you one of the bad news that Liberians love, and they lie. Oh, they arrested Doe during Puempa invasion. Doe was arrested. Doe took Makui and put Makui right there and said, man, Doe. Puempa arrested from the vice president down. Why would he arrest Doe and kept Doe different place and say, just look at him till I come back? People all over the place. When people try to kill Doe, we say, oh, that's a false coup, man, because we didn't like Doe. That's a false coup. Doe just did a thing. When Roosevelt Johnson and Richard Tapper were in our 50 caliber in our Pajero Jeep, when Flanzameton shot at the Jeep, I went there and looked at Richard Tapper in JFK. His whole arm was damaged. They ended up sending him to Germany. They sent Roosevelt Johnson. And Roosevelt Johnson, the guy was with, what the guy name? His name is Roosevelt, not Roosevelt Johnson. but Roosevelt Service, General Service, yes, it was General Service. They sent him to Germany and whatsoever. But why Franz Hamilton was trying to kill Doe? Franz Hamilton was Nancy Doe relatives. Franz Hamilton had money from LPMC, and he don't want to go to jail. So if I kill Doe, there will be a problem. He decided and went against Doe. But everybody say it was a plain coup. Oh no, they're not true. Why do we want to kill an innocent man? And why do we want to kill an SS guy who was special attendant to the president, who traveled with the president every night around the place? Yeah. So tell me, so Liberians, we always listen to false news. We believe in false news. That is what killing our country. Because the country is divided everywhere. All over it's divided. We're not together. We are not together at all. It is time. Today is the 6th. Today now is January 6th. It's January 6th. Today is the protest day. Today is the day that Liberians are supposed to assemble. Can this president stand in front of Liberians and receive any information? Can this president, people say, oh, you love Liberia, why you should protest on a day that the business people, government will not be receiving no. Do you think protest is about who? Protest is about people to feel it, to understand there's a protest. There's a protest. You don't know. If you don't show up, fine, so be it. So be it. But the record will be there. And some of the, and let me close my thing here with going back to opposition leaders. Where are the opposition leaders in everything? We are not saying that opposition leaders should to support this protest. You can't do what CDC did, I agree. You cannot be doing the same thing as an opposition party or political party to be on demonstrate, no. But you can stop your people. You cannot stop your people. So, people in high hierarchy in the party can step aside. You understand? But you cannot say the people cannot protest. It's against it is not constitutional. No, it is. Other people have problem with the wording that step down. Okay, it's not step down anymore. But my first person I want to go on here, Benayoun is not speaking out against George Weah. Bad leadership. Maybe he afraid because he's a businessman. The government can step on him and his business is not going well anyway. Joseph Boakai is not talking against George Weah, bad leadership, because you know why he's afraid? He came from Unity Party that caused the problem. Liberty Party is not talking. May their soul rest in peace. And Bromskin is dead. Bromskin, who knows? Yombly, who's the political leader? I've never heard her criticizing George Weah one day. Maybe she's afraid because her husband died. Alexander Cummings, who everybody knows he contested the past election. Everybody recognized his platform. Everybody recognized his honesty. Everybody recognized that he was the new guy that you cannot attach into corruption. But he's afraid. You can't be telling Liberian people what you're going to be doing. Liberian people looking for people who will speak for them now. Liberians looking for people who will speak for them today. If you don't do it today, look, we shouldn't take this for a joke. Don't support the protest. But you can come out and list some of the things that the president doing, good or bad. Counter-attack this president. Capitalize on the weakness of this president. Come 2023, y'all will regret it. It will be a day that people would not understand why it happened. And then maybe we might go back to the same old thing. People might end up inviting or and voting for people that we don't want. Because right now, I agree, some people are in there for themselves. Some people are in there for themselves. I've asked Enrico, I said, you in the thing for yourself? He got ambition, but he's not there to be president. I'm not behind Costa to say I'm behind Costa. We're in a struggle together. I love his attitude, his fight. I love it. But I'm not saying beyond Custer for Custer to be president. That's his right to be president. But Custer still got the age in his favor, 37 years old. So add another 6 years to his age. He might want to run for president too. That's his right. He might be in the 40s. So there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. Even right now, they want to make him president. It's up to the Liberian people. There's nothing wrong with it. He more eloquent and got ideas. Look, leadership, there's certain things that we do, there's no leadership in it. They don't teach you. But when you look at our president upbringing, then even the people in the bush, when you go to the poorer society, they teach you about leadership. That's all they do for you. You wonder how time I tell them never went to school and they understand they were able to lead the people and they were able to give advices. How come? We say the educated people fool us. Do you know who brought that slogan about educated people fool us? It's the same educated people, because after they mess it up and they wanted that glory, just how Unity Party mess it up and is trying to transform themselves as if they are the good guys. They start talking right there to keep the party moving. But today is June 6th, the long-awaited time. The government must provide us security. And I will tell you the real truth. Joshua, I believe that you can stay in the street as long as you want to stay, and I'm going to move in. As long as you want to stay in the street, you don't have to talk to you. He said Liberian will get tired and leave. Liberian people are stupid people. Liberian people don't have the brain. They don't think for themselves. They're quick to get tired. They're like a Coca-Cola. When you open the Coke, when you shake it, and it slow down. That's what Liberians do all the time. We sell our soul for little or nothing. People that we don't expect to do things, do it. But God showing us things, God wants you to stand up for yourself. If you can't stand up for yourself and you think you want to wait, fine. Faith without action is a dead faith. You can pray from now to judgment that God will not send the goodness into Liberia. No, God will never. You got to pray and work for your economy. You got to pray and look for jobs. You got to pray. But the fact is that Liberia is so small, or unitary state where the president got a lot of power, that the president, they look up to the president. It's not going to be a government job, but they look up to the president for vision to see how best to move the country. Not to see your people, even in Tottenham that we complain today, Tottenham there for 27 years. Tottenham told his people, say, no matter what happens, we can never delay pay, neither to take it, because it will be a disaster for us. If there is no money, I will take the money from you guys and we'll make sure we make payment. That is how Tottenham be relaxing. When the people giving Tottenham hard time, he go into the counties, he look for the parliament chief. He take care of the parliament chief, the parliament take care of the whole people. At that time, they were disciplined in the army. They were in the country. They were disciplined. 27 years. Imagine if they have Facebook, social media at that time. You think Tottenham were going to go 27 years? If we had social media at that time, you think Tottenham was going to go 27 years? Hell no. No. With the nonsense that were going on? No way. You think if we had social media, you think Samuel Doe, who tried to at least follow the platform later on for Talbot, and he wanted to build, he changed the money, and money was in that country. You think Todd and Doe was going to go after his oppositions? You think if they had social media, Charles Taylor, as much as we say Charles Taylor was this, but Charles Taylor could understand. When things got tough, when they told Charles Taylor to leave, Liberian people all around. Who is America? America cannot tell us to leave. America cannot come in a foreign country. When push got shot, while they were talking, Charles Taylor came and said, I will leave. If I am the problem, if that what will save Liberia, I will leave and I will be back. That's true. He went back. He landed in Liberia and took him to jail. If I child stealer, the problem, I will leave for the sake of my country. While Samuel can say it, when everybody calling your name, everybody believe that you the one mess up Joshua because you the financial man. While Samuel can come and say, if I am the problem, if the Liberia people believe that I'm doing a bad work, I will step aside. Let it go. If I'm the guy who controlling this president, then I'd rather step aside and let a new person come and take over. And thank you, Mr. President, for serving my country. And you take your seat and you be your honorary man. Because your president can say it. You told him not to talk before, and he don't have to talk. That is what you say. You were the talkative. You were the one everybody looking at to come to be foreign information minister. But you got Mr. Eugene. He came on BBC. He said, yes, government will protect the people, all demonstrators. So maybe ICO people go and demonstrate too. Yeah. So Joshua not going to do anything. Joshua not going to come out and tell you people something. He's not. He's not going to do it. I got to leave. I don't have to take a call. I know some people want to say something, but I will not take a call today. Thank you very much, Halt. In Proverb 29, verse 12, you are very right. That's it. That's it right there. Look, I'm not a prophet. I'm not a deacon in my church, but I believe in God. I go to church every Sunday. I do work for my church. I do everything in my church. But I believe that if Joshua can take upon himself and say he's the pastor, then he's supposed to have wisdom. Because everything is in the Bible. That book looks small, but it's big. You can learn it and never stay understand. I'm telling you, everything is right in the Bible. The answer is in the Bible. God tells leader. God said we should respect our leader. But God, you know what God said about the leaders to when he selecting his officials? The Bible said the first thing that the leader should ask for, are you a believer? Yes, are you a believer? Well, you know, in Liberia, that's the only place I see believer pray for wickedness. I see believer pray for a corrupt leader and still praise the leader and say, oh, everybody in the name of Jesus, everybody who against Joshua will prosper, will never prosper. They will be thunder, fire, thunder, what will he shoot? And you all see what happened. Oh, Joshua is a millionaire. The man got his own money. The man make his money. This man play football around the world. He make over millions of dollars. So that's the time. That's the only time you see to build houses. Then when you're ready to say, why? That's the only thing you do. You don't go there so to go look for a job. Your only government job you want. Yes, but Joshua depended on government job throughout when he retired from football. The only job that Joshua did in Liberia when he retired from football, politics, and he accepted a job from Ellen Johnson because he wanted money. And then he went for Senate. Or because you think that Joshua went for the Senate, so other people should do with the Senate? No. And yet people talking about Cummings should run for Senate. If Cummings don't run for the Senate, I mean, he don't. No. Let me tell you, you senator, just one man, you can't make no difference. You can't make the difference. Cummings reached to the highest in his career. He retired. He was not a number one in Coca-Cola. But when we talk about politics, do you know what kind of politics is in the corporate world? We don't know. It's more political in the corporate world. If this man say, the only way I can solve this problem, I believe, by being president. When Barack, go and read about Barack. Barack took 10 years to be president, 10 years. Barack said that the only way I can make the difference is for me to be president of the United States. When he won the Senate position, he called, I can still remember, Dasher, Tom Dasher. He said, I never came here to spend the same years of you guys. I am looking at that building over there. And everybody started to give him the support when they saw him the way he was working with everybody. He said, I came here just to be president. I never came here to sit here for 27 years, 30 years as a senator. No, no, no. And how he started. So it was a springboard to go closer from Illinois all the way. You understand? The guy mayor there who running for president. Why you can't say he should run for Senate? No. So you're telling Cummings to run for Senate in Maryland County when Cummings is not even living in Maryland County? I don't know where you guys got your education from. Cummings live in Monserrato County. But going as a senator, or he can go as a senator and also run as a president in 2023, it make no difference. That will be greediness. That means he'll be stopping other people from even going as a senator. Yeah. The man believe that he can solve the problem as president. But with the things that are going on right now, winning the presidency is a hard thing. The voters are right there. People not come from all the way in Nima County and whatsoever will come to protest, but guess what? A lot of people into the protest. And even if, look, it take one person to make the difference. You see South Korea and Hong Kong? It were not 2, 3, just one guy. Yeah. So Liberians, you need to stand up. Standing up to Joshua is not that you want to overthrow him. But you voted for him, he need to listen to you. You voted for Joshua, he need to listen to you. Yeah.
I will be hitting green children next week. I will be in Look, you see, these are the kind of inciting statements we're talking about. When our superintendent will start talking about that allowing me in green children for Joshua, you need to listen to you.
You see, these are some of the things. Now, you know, sometimes I look at the journalists. The only opportunity they have is to maybe talk to Yeke and ask Yeke a question. But they ask Yeke a question as if they're fighting Yeke. But they don't have the opportunity to ask the president a question. They don't go after the president. They ask Yeke a question as if they're defending the government. But they don't even go and ask Jefferson Koji why Koji I see sedition all over the place with knives and whatsoever. These are some of the deceptives that we're talking, the deceptiveness we're talking about. People take side. People take side. For me, I got side. I'm on the side of the Liberian people. If you're not on the side yet, it's up to you. If you want to get on the side of the government, it's up to you. But I know I have proven everything right. What I said before and what I'm saying now is I'm still consistent on my approach. That this president will not change. This president will not change no matter what. I don't care how we want to put it. This president will not change. So let us start fooling ourselves and that, oh, this man will change and whatsoever. No, he's not going to. He's not going to. Right now, it's like, what? It's 1 o'clock. People are in Liberia, people getting ready. People will move around, and that's it. But I will say this. Liberia is our country. We want good for that country. We're not looking at Josh, we are failing. We're looking at Liberia rising up. As I said, I spoke with a guy today. He worked in the government. I'm not calling his name. And we had a long conversation. And we said Liberia will make it. And he said Liberia will change. There will be a lot of changes this year. I said, good. It will be okay, but I can promise you if the changes come, I will be there. I will be one of the guys who will say, yes, we need that changes. And I always say this before. I said, Joshua can do all the good. He can be the #1 president. He can change around. They will still contest against him because that's the law. That's the rules of the game. People that he defeated will still want to try again. You know what I'm saying? So, it make no difference. You got to just do what you can do. The people elected you. The people went to the pool. They stood up. The first round, you had 38% of the vote. And let's get this straight. It was a coalition. 3 political parties came up with 38%. In the second round, you had 61, 62%. Yeah. Sanvi voted for you. I saw this young man blaming himself. I can't blame nobody who voted for George Weah. And don't even blame yourself for voting for George Weah. Because there's a saying that you can take the cow to the river, but you cannot force the cow to drink. You got to wait for the cow time. You see, that's what happened. So other people look at George Weah and they saw themselves. They said, no, we don't need Unity Party. Some people say, oh no, we still don't need George Weah. We prefer taking Unity Party than George Weah. I supported Unity Party in the second round because I fought in my spirit. I tried to say, can I support George Weah because I know him? But something was just telling me, no. I came up, I went on Jida Hard Talk. And something told me, say, listen, you got to make a decision that will be okay. Sedition called me. It's not that I'm the greatest. It's not that I'm going to make a change. And I will tell you, I will be honest to you and myself. I knew that Joshua was going to win. But I was preaching and I said, we're making a big mistake. We're making this mistake. We're making this mistake. We're making a mistake. To my surprise, what was his name? Yasini published my December 28th video. I saw it came back to December 28th. If anybody can remember that when they make that announcement, when I congratulated Joshua and told him that the burden of proof is on you. And if you ask me if Joshua is the right man, I said no. He's not the right. We made a mistake. And we'll pay for that mistakes. Election has consequences. Seriously. You know, sometimes I sit back and say I want to go against the Liberian people in a sense that let them feed it. Let them go through all the hardship like every one of us will go through, because when we say we'll go through the hardship, if it's hard in Liberia, instead of 5, you'll make it 10. And next time, Liberians will know who they're voting for and why they should vote for you. Not what you did for me or what you're going to do for me or what you did for Liberia. No Liberians got to do nothing for Liberia. You are a Liberian. You pay taxes. You do anything for anybody, it's just out of generosity. You want to help. You need to go to Liberia and pave somebody's road. You need to go to Liberia and pave and this and that or to buy. If you got the money, if you want to help in your community, you help. But it's not a prerequisite for position that the community road is bad, so I should come and spend money to fix it. Stupidness. That's what they've been doing in Liberia. That is what they've been doing in Liberia. We greater road in Liberia. When I went there, we greater roads. I couldn't believe it. I left Banja. The people in Waters and Lrtn, they're giving you a budget of $1,300 because they want to do a cleanup campaign. Why can't you clean up your community? Why can't you clean up your community, but you want me to come and clean your community because you're looking for vote? Now, when you give me the votes and I don't come back again, then that's it. I should bring current in your area. Oh, there's no current. We need lipo. When your brother can just buy a full lipo and bring the current here, it will be okay. LEC, who's going to do it and bring current? Now you're telling me to do it. Commies then build schools, they build toilets, they build clinics, they did this, they spend money, they get 25,000, 10,000, do all the things in the community just because of politics, just because of election. That's the only way they will listen to you. That's the only way they will think that, yes, you play your part. Did Joshua do all these things? No. Did Joshua build toilets in Liberia? No. Did Joshua dog well in Liberia? No. Did Joshua feed the poor, the hungry? No. So what he did, play football. We love him because he come and dance with us. He scored goal, we jams all the feet. He talked to the press. He walked on the crowd, he slap hands. They did, oh, Joshua. He walking, tapping the ball, people running behind him. Yes. But we believe that other people did nothing for Liberia. But we forgot that it was not Joshua alone that played for Liberia. We had Silencer and other people. But we thought, oh, the people jealous over Joshua. Other people played, they sacrificed themselves. They came to Liberia during the war. But Liberia, that's it. That's us. We upgrade people for no reason, people that don't deserve it. And we downgrade a lot of Liberians that could make it. Look at District 15. I listened to that young lady speaking. She know the issue. Articulate the issue well. This is the woman who Joshua insulted her father. But this girl was against Joshua stepping down. Taylor Uri. She called custom. She said, I tell you, I was not going to participate in this whole thing because I'm against the title Joshua stepping down. It will set no precedent to us. But since it's not about Joshua stepping down, it's about good governance, we inside. Yeah, a girl who you just cheated. You did everything and robbed that family of that girl. And I guess still standing up and saying that I would not support no Joshua stepping down. But the few days, that was the girl you were insulting. That was the lady girl. He said she's a lady girl. You're going to flog her. Her father, baby, her father, rebel, he's a killer. He's a rapist. Where Bernard Uri fought war. The only way, unless you're Bernard sweating in your stomach too, the only way, unless Bernard sweat or whether the corrupt money is not into your stomach, God is a just God. Sometimes we get away with these things. God gave bad people long life to repent. God gave people long life to repent. You say, why the wicked man can still be living? Why Prince Johnson stay alive? Good people still dying. You think Prince Johnson have repented? No. It's not because he's pastor. Because if you see a man, I can tell you right now that butt naked is more genuine than Prince Johnson. Because butt naked realized and recognized his failures and what he did in the government. But Prince Johnson still justifying what he did. Yeah. You see. But this is terrible. Pastors giving our president and pulpit to insult other Liberians. Yeah. So you tell us it's right. You tell us. And this president take that pulpit and use it to downgrade other Liberians because they don't support him or because they criticize him. You take the pulpit and talking about people cussing your mind and whatsoever. You just promoted Prophet Key. Prophet Key was talking about it, although you don't call his name, because I don't think you were talking to Custom. Custom never cussed your mind before. So why we must go through all this thing here? But Liberians, it's up to you. You either do it or don't do it. You do it or don't do it. Freedom is not free. You're afraid that government might go after you. You're afraid that people might start shooting. I don't think so. If Joshua will kill the Liberian people, let the blood remain on him. Let the blood remain on Joshua. That's all I have to say. And I pray, President Weah, I hope you change. I hope you can still come out today and say, this is what we're going to do. I know you got enough money into your house, in your houses or in your house, that you can carry you got food. But Mr. President, do not sit there for taxes and other things to just reduce. That means you'll not be able to make it. You will not be able to make it. You think that you got everything to your name, but think about the people that you're leading. So for the sake of Liberia, take action. Take action. This for the sake of Liberia. Make the difference. We told you you should fight corruption. CDC chairman gave a statement in the presence of your members, Akaras Gray, Thomas Fowler, Jefferson Koji, and others. We said you refuse to fight corruption. CDC said, Mr. President, we must fight corruption. We told you, say, flying private jet, killing the country economy, you're spending too much. CDC said the same thing, said, Mr. President, stop flying private jets. We told you, say, Mr. President, you only speak to one group of people which are sedition, and you do not, you bring in division in the country. CDC people told you the same thing. Your own members say, Mr. President, you need to speak with everybody, even speak to the opposition. We said it's our right to protest. CDC said it is the right of every Liberian to protest. Your own party telling you the same thing. Let's forget about the recording, because the recording is truth. What he said, it came from his heart. Let me tell you today, the best prayer of any man when you pray is by yourself. If you behind closed door and pray, it's a genuine prayer. They say a good leader is what you do behind closed door. And Molu expresses frustration about how you receive money after you announce. They saw all that. How you push them to disrespect a lot of people. They did all that. You only concerned about yourself. You were never rich, but they just did everything, lied to the people. That the time to enjoy, but that's the thing. What I realized in Molu's voice was, some of them wanted CDC party to do better than Ellen Johnson. Yeah. They wanted you to do better. That's all. But you betrayed them. They say you are a toxic waste. You can't hold nobody's hands to go anywhere anymore. You can't walk the street anymore, Mr. President. You can't campaign for nobody because they're not going to win. The people are tired. Some people say, oh, President, we are as bad as this and that. But still they say we shouldn't protest, but the people are tired, Mr. President. You my friend. But it's just a tough love. Yeah. I want to say thanks for watching. Share this video with your friends. Encourage people. It means that there will be a war today. There will be no war in Liberia. No war will ever survive in Liberia. No war. No war will ever survive. So thank you very much. Share this. I wish you the best. And let us pray there will be a peaceful protest today. And we pray that nothing will go wrong. So thank you very much. And be blessed. 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 You see, people stay adding friendship. I told you guys, you're in a habit of insulting people. I'm not wasting my time. I just kick you out. Finish. Simple. Capiche? I ain't gonna waste my time with you. I kick you out. I bring new group of people and put them there. That's all. That's all. Okay. Thank you very much. Have a good day. And let us watch and see. I'm getting all the text now from Liberia. Wow. Not bad. Things. Okay. All right. Thank you. And God bless you all. And have a good day. Bye for now. This is the General himself. And I love you guys. And I hope we will see again. Thank you. Bye for now.
At tuneslikebeard.com.
Photographer, hey, my man, you can't take our photo. Where let me come on, friend? Colorful.
Yeah.
Taku.
Okay.
What again? Auntie, sugar. Hey, man, I want picture of her.
I pose for the photo, but I can see myself in the photo. Pose. What happened to the photo? Now I can see myself in the photo. Pose. The people that were laughing at the photo, now the people that I see shining in the photo. Pose. I pose for the photo, but I can see myself in the photo. What happened to the photo? Now I can see myself in the photo. The people that were laughing at the photo, now the people that I see shining in the photo. Baby, what happened to the photo? What happened? How you really tell it all the photo? Now I can see myself in the photo. I was standing right down there in the photo, but now I can't even see my shadow in the photo. Where deep, blah in the photo. So shaka demon I see in the photo. They say your camera was dog. They say your picture was not clear. If your picture will be all clear, now the reason why they went and took the picture different place. But now I see the pussy in the photo. Talking said I didn't want enjoy in the photo. Where were y'all when we were in the photo? Pussy in the ring and the sun for the photo. Photo go to did not follow in the photo. When I wear deep blah shining in the photo. Shaka Dimo did not visit all the camera in no more. They blocking us in the photo. Yes. I pose for the photo, but I can see myself in the photo. What happened to the photo? Now I can see myself in the photo. The people that were laughing at the photo, and the people that I see shining in the photo. I pose for the photo, but I can see myself in the photo. Okay. What happened to the photo? Now I can see myself in the photo. The people that were laughing at the photo, and the people that I see shining in the photo.
I can see myself because the way they take the photo. Mr. Photo, tell me how you ready to take the photo.
Okay.
Back in the days when we were planning for the photo, LIB record CEO were in the photo. Even lost our maintain in the photo. I got sick, I almost died in the photo. Now I see different men all in the photo. Seeing the posting, the guy drops to the posting. Some of them posting, but I posting not fun. The honor to see what to get a nigga or down. I had a stronghold to see myself in the photo. After I posted, just say I was ghost, I'm a pro. Seeing different men in my post, and I bet. But some of them had an clear. When they see you coming, they see face, they scared.
I pose for the photo, but I can see myself in the photo. What happened to the photo? Now I can see myself in the photo. The people that were laughing at the photo, and the people that I see shining in the photo. I pose for the photo, but I can see myself in the photo. Pose. What happened to the photo? Now I can see myself in the photo. Pose. The people
What about girls? Turn up my microphone, they're beautiful. It's a pleasure. A lot of girls then too them fine. You can tell from that behind. I won't take them go up and down, round and round. bum bum. Me, I like the way you move your back, I don't do. Bum digga bum bum. Me, I like the way you move your back, I don't do. Your bagaya, I want be a babaya, mamaya. I feel the things you do. You do. It's a pleasure, oh yeah, oh me feel the way that you can move, oh yeah, oh I want put it there, baby, can I put it there? Sweaty, baby, throw you happy, sappy, I be your own property. When you come to licking, I your puppy, baby, can you be my coffee? Papi, true love, I want you to be my true love. Can you be my true love? Who got this booty? Who own this booty? Who got this booty? I wonder who got this booty? Who own this booty? Who got this booty? Who own this booty? I wonder who got this booty? What did I carry?
Let me see you, I won't see you. Let me see you, I won't see you. Let me see you. Wagga. Let me see you, I won't see you. Let me see you, I won't see you. Let me see you. Wagga. Let me see you. This time around, I won't see your own or tate. From past stage, she murdered it in me, I copy. Fantastic, get to the point you attractive. They multiply you, I take your one from the copy. My last sale, I be the test, your own you pass it. Expensive, your level or in package. Sassy, now you're to my way you pack it. But to yourself, it will take your hands from my trusted. Come on, you dealing with the boy, I can chop it. Slowly, the boy, he can chop it. I take it from all, I bring it down low. Professional, I bring it freaky, the boy can chop it.
Who own this body? Who got this body? I wonder who got this body? Who own this body? Who got this body? Who own this body? I wonder who got this body? Baby, what did I carry?
Girl, I gon' make you sweat. Sweaty when I sweat no more. Then I gonna make you work. So tell you when I work no more.
Girl, I gotta make you sweat. Sweat until the back get wet. And I gotta make you wet. Work until you work no more. Girl, I gotta make you sweat. Sweat until the back get wet. Girl, I gotta make you wet. Till you feel yourself work. Pleasure, BCK.